Okay, today I'm gonna make turkey burgers. Now normally I have no use for turkey burgers because, I mean, what's the point, really? Regular burgers just better. But I had this pound of ground turkey in the freezer for a while because we didn't make some, what was it, turkey chili, and I just wanted to use it, so I went online. I read a whole bunch of recipes for how to make a good turkey chili, how to make a good turkey burger. I read a bunch of recipes, tried to think about things like the fact that they're usually really dry and bland, and looked for recipes and ingredients that sort of combated that, and made this the other day, and it was actually fucking great. So now Z just wants to have turkey burgers every other night, which is, well, it would be annoying, except they're really good. So today I'm gonna make you some turkey burgers, and it's really, really easy too, which is the nice thing. So check it out. We start with the dry ingredients. There's a teaspoon of breadcrumbs. It's just normal Progresso Italian style because that's what I had in the house. I think there's some panko breadcrumbs in there too, but I don't think they're the right thing for it. These other dry ingredients, which I've already put in here, it's a heaping quarter teaspoon of garlic powder, heaping quarter teaspoon of onion powder, a quarter teaspoon or so of ground pepper, and then a half teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to throw those in there as well. Then we're going to add a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, which will give it some of the beefy flavor. You know, give it some of the depth that you don't have in turkey. So, a teaspoon of that, a teaspoon of milk, and then a couple teaspoons of mayonnaise. I just accidentally threw the mayonnaise top across the room when I took it off, and so I had to go get that, and we had to take a short break. So it's a couple teaspoons of that. 1, 2 or so. And then we're also going to add 1 egg. So there's an egg. And then I'm going to grab a fork and just beat those together. Just get the egg mixed up. Just mixing the egg and the mayonnaise and everything, and all those dry ingredients together, so they're sort of, before we put some of the more solid stuff in there, I just want to get this stuff mixed together. Okay, that's done. Okay, we're also going to add a couple cloves of garlic and an onion to that. So let's start off with the garlic. Easiest way to chop up garlic is just take your knife, smash the garlic. Smash the garlic. You can pull the peel right off it at that point. I made a mess with this one, but in any case, it'll come right off, and it's also not going to bounce all around your table at that point, so it makes it a lot easier to chop it up. So separate the peel, and then you just chop it up. I was going to cut this part off, but maybe chopping's helpful, I don't know. For me, for this kind of chopping, I just grab one end of my knife between these fingers, and I just move the other end up and down and through the stuff. Scrape it off. I've got this glove on because these knives are really sharp, and I am constantly cutting myself when I don't use this glove. This is a cutting glove. It's really great. It just feels like a regular wool glove, sort of a thin wool glove, but it is really hard to cut yourself through it, which is a very good thing, because man, do I have a habit of doing that. And you really want to mince up this garlic because you don't want big chunks of garlic in a bite of a burger. So that's pretty minced up right now. So I'm just going to gather on the knife and get it in the bowl. You got the bowl there? Yeah, you do. This is incredible camera work. My new stand to match the garlic. Now I gotta chop up an onion. Onion can seem complicated, but actually, if you just learn a couple steps, chopping up an onion is really, really simple. I'm gonna show you what they are. First step, this end, the stuff hanging off it. Just kind of slice off that end. Gives you a little bit of a flat base to work on, get rid of that. Now you're just gonna take the onion, cut it right down the middle. That's all. Now we're gonna peel away one of the layers and get rid of the skin. Okay. Now once you've done that to both sides, here's what you're gonna do. You lay the onion down on the counter, and you're gonna cut a few horizontal cuts into it. I don't know how many, it depends on how big the onion is. This is where I always cut my hands if I'm not using it. So I've got 3 horizontal cuts in that. And then you're gonna turn it on, and you just cut like a little fan of cuts coming out from the middle. Just little vertical cuts like that. Then it's really simple. You just come down like this and it's chopped. It's just nice chopped onion. It's really easy. 3 horizontal slices, 5 or 6 vertical ones across the top, and then when you go to cut it, it's chopped. That's chopped onion right there. Well, I got the other half to do, but that's basically it. It's pretty simple. All right, so I've got my onion and my garlic in the bowl, and I'm just going to use my fork again and just get it all mixed up in there. Just trying to get this all that way ahead of time, as mixed up as possible before I add the ground turkey, because it just makes it easier. Okay, so that's all mixed in there now. I'm gonna go get the turkey. Okay, got a pound of ground turkey here. Just going to dump it in the bowl with everything else. And again, just be simple with the fork. I'm gonna mix it all up. Now, this mixture is pretty wet. And when you go to form it into patties, it's gonna seem like they won't form right because it's a little too wet and mushy and they're not holding together. But that doesn't matter because you're not eating it like this. You're not eating it raw. And the thing is, the liquids in there are gonna keep it moist, which is what I was looking for, because I don't like turkey burgers. They can be so dry. The milk, the Worcestershire sauce, the mayonnaise, and the egg, which is a lot of liquid right now. When you cook it, well, you know what happens to egg. When you cook it, obviously it's gonna solidify and firm up, and that's gonna bind the burger together even more. So it will seem like it's not great for making a burger with right now, but it actually is. And as soon as you drop it in the hot oil, or on the pan to saute it in the oil, it's gonna be a burger. Before you start, you might as well get all your stuff together. Being prepared ahead of time is everything in cooking. You know, getting your ingredients together before you start something. Before you start cooking, have the things you're going to put together. You know, like for hamburgers or turkey burgers, I've got some sliced tomato, some cheddar I've sliced, some slices of American cheese, some greens. I mixed up some ketchup and mayonnaise and mustard together. Just got it all ready. I forgot the buns. I'm gonna get buns. And then we'll start cooking. You may have noticed I'm styling my hair differently today. In a fit of mid-pandemic boredom, I shaved my head the other day. I don't like wearing my hair shaved, but I really like shaving it. It's just incredibly satisfying. Just so, also, I feel a little like G.I. Joe. Anyways, it was a whim the other day. It's not a permanent thing. It's just fucking bored. All right, I'm gonna turn the heat on, and then first thing, add some olive oil. Like about a tablespoon, maybe 2 in there. I guess it's probably around a tablespoon. Put it all in there. There we go. I'm just gonna let that heat for a bit. Okay, so we're gonna just grab a handful of this I don't know, turkey and stuff. Make a kind of a patty out of it, not particularly big, and just put it in the oil. A little lopsided. Make another one, a little smaller. And then just separate them. Now I think about 5 minutes on each side is all they need. I'm going to make a couple smaller ones for Z to have sliders. And they'll take a little less time. But that's it cooking right now. Come back in a bit. Alright, I'm just going to flip them now. It's been, I don't know, 4.5 minutes probably for the big ones, and 2.5 minutes for the small ones. I put them on later. And I screwed that one up. But it's an imperfect world. They're on a medium-high heat. And cooking for another like 4 minutes on each side. I just added cheese on here. After a couple minutes, just want to get it to melt. Okay, so that's been another 4 minutes or so. I'm just going to drop them onto the buns, and we've got turkey burgers. Simple as that. I got some lettuce and tomato and the sauce on there. Dinner time. See you later.